who you are. And second, establish whose you are. And for me, for our team, I know for a lot of you in here, you belong to God. And at the end of the day, like, that's what's most important. And so don't drift away from who you are, and don't forget whose you are. So our identity in Christ, according to the scriptures, and just some things from verses that I was reading earlier. I am God's child. I am assured all things work together for good. I have not been given a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and self-discipline. I am forgiven. I have purpose. I have hope. I have peace. I have been chosen, and God desires me to bear fruit. I'm growing, and I'm not alone. And so those are things that you need to remember. If you can establish yourself in God and establish yourself in love, you're never going to lose who you are. And when you get into the outside world, even now, make known what you're going to do. Make known to everyone where your boundaries are. Say, Alexis, she's going to do this, and she's not going to do this. She's going to treat people this way. She's not going to treat people this way. She's going to take her classes seriously, or she's not. Like, make sure people know where you stand with all those areas of your life. And like I said, make known what you're going to do, and make known what you're not going to do. Set your boundaries, set your line, and when it comes that time, say, no, I'm not going to do that. So 4 points: establish who you are, establish whose you are, make known what you're going to do, and make known what you're not going. I shouldn't say none of that's terrible. I go to college. Make known what you won't do. So that pretty much wraps us up, and we hope you guys have a good night.
I'm so proud that we got to do this tonight, to have this recognition of Candace and Alexis. As they were talking, I had a lot of things in my mind. I was running through it, but what sticks to me in my mind is to this group of table right here, you're going off in just a few months. You're really protected here in our little quaint town of Blue Ridge. Our families are here. Life is not that difficult. But I'm so proud of the fact that those two young ladies have gone off, because college is a place where there is no rules. And it's going to be some of the most trying times for some people, because that's where so many times young people stray. And it's so great to see them come back, and they still have an anchor in the Lord Jesus Christ. And that's really what is that I think is so important, and I'm proud of them. I was going to talk about the journey that they had, the opportunity. Less than 4% of college athletes get to experience this right here on this table. A national trophy, a national championship trophy. The rings are next to them. All those material things are great, and I'm sure they have tremendous memories, as we do, watching them and following them online as they played in Oklahoma last year. And it was a great thing, not only for them, but also for our program. If we look back the last 4, 5, 6 years, I walked into a great situation. Candace and Alexis were already part of this program. Her dad and Coach Breeden had started it with the changeover into fast pitch a few years earlier. And we had a good group of girls and a core group. I have so many memories filled with them, and they just talked about just getting ready for the night. Imagine me and Coach Collis and us trying to get 16 of them to go to Columbus for 3 days and to play on the road away from home. There are memories I'm always going to have. One thing I remember is I didn't bump very much for 2 or 3 years. We just watched balls fly out of the park. We watched balls go into gaps. We had a really group of girls who were very well competitive. I think it's awesome that they've gone on and to be a part of a national championship right here close to home in Dahlonega and represent Fannin County at University of North Georgia. Couldn't be more proud of you, and I'm so glad you got to be a part of this tonight. And I'm so glad that you got to have our program get to be a part of this tonight too. And I know you're going to do well in life. I'm so proud that you got through these first 2 and 3 and 4 years of college and you've stayed grounded. I think it's a great testament. And that's really the best example you could be to any of these young ladies about to go to school and any other ones who are in 9th or 10th grade are juniors also. I know y'all want to slip away. You've got classes and exams coming up, so we want to let you know we appreciate it. We're so glad you were a part of it. Ms. Brown, thank you for being a part of it. And we want to thank the University of North Georgia and let Coach Davenport know that we appreciate it as a group that we got this opportunity with these two young ladies. Thank you. Yeah, as they slip away, and we want to doesn't drop that $2,000 trophy or. We're going to start the award ceremony tonight. I'm going to introduce Coach Neil Armstrong. He's going to come up and talk about the JV and hand out some certificates and some awards, and then we'll move on to the varsity awards and senior plaques.
First of all, I'd like to thank Mr. Shofie and the administration here at Fannin County High School, not for the opportunity to coach, but also the opportunity to teach here at a great high school. We have a lot of great things here at Bay Ridge, and like I said, it's a great community. I thank Coach Dyer for getting me up here a couple years ago and talking me into coming and asking to be part of the staff. I'd like to thank Coach Collis like I said a couple years ago, felt like, I just fit right in with everybody, and then I'd also like to thank my wife, also helps coach. We always got along so great and never had any disagreements. Right, girls? Always worded. Yes, ma'am. All right. This JV team this year, I hate losing worse than anything in the world. I can't stand it. And we did our share of it this year. But we won some games too. But what I was proud of these girls is when we first started, I was like, oh dear Lord. We may not score a run all year. We may not win a game all year. And I really did. I thought that. But we, as far as a group, the group of JV, I've never saw a bunch of girls want to get better, want to work, and the attitude they had, they were after it. They practice the whole time. They get after it. And we played our best football toward the end of the year. And that's what you're in for. You want to see a team improve, and we did improve. So I'm glad we improved. Made it a little easier. Go home tonight and sleep. I've got a participation award for all the JV girls. When I call your name, just come on up. Alexis Jones. You'll ever see Emily smile right here. Morgan Pentardi. Sydney Allen. And Leah Shofie. Millie. All right, Reagan Young. Where's Reagan? Felt sorry for Reagan the other day. I had to go stand in Miss Wilson's class this year. Reagan was sitting all by herself. I didn't know if she didn't have any friends or she
Talk some more.
What? Oh, really? Oh, yes, I have seen her. Walking down the hall, holding hands. Hey, John Cole. Taylor Deal. I think, Taylor, what did you get hurt the first day of tryouts? Before the first game? Was in a cast the whole year. I think she was, I don't think she missed many practices or games either. Aubrey Packard. Hannah Dickey. Collis. Brooks or Bob or all right, we're going to give three awards. First award is a pitching award. It's going to go to Morgan Contardi. Morgan, let's say, starting out, she was one of them that I wanted to pull my hair out because she looked so good in practice and getting games, and she'd struggle. And it would drive me crazy. And I said, we just got to throw strikes. How many times I said that, but we got better. Looking for some great things next year. Congratulations. Okay, the next one is our Lady Rebel Award. And this player was on the varsity all year, but then played JV with us all year. And she's one that never complained. She never, well, I was on varsity. What am I doing on JV now? So she did everything we asked her to. And I think she caught almost every game JV because somebody got hurt. And lived. So I want to give this Junior Varsity Lady Rebel Award to Hannah Dickey. All right, my last award. I'll tell you, this girl right here, after last year, I was almost dreading her own team. She'll tell you that she didn't have the best attitude last year. Okay? But we went to camp down in Statesboro, FCA camp. And I don't know what happened down there, but something happened. This young lady had the best attitude all year long. We never had to tell her, hey, we need to put the bases out. We need to get the cages set up. Or we need to get the water coolers out here. It was always, want to do something, and like I said, we never had to ask her to do anything. She stepped up this year and was the leader of my JV team. She took charge. She made sure everybody was where she was at or where they're supposed to be. And I saw glimpses of it on the varsity team as far as being a leader. Okay? So we expect big things as far as being a leader and on and off the softball field next year. And I even had a teacher at school brag about her in the classroom. Look at that.
That's never been done.
That's never been done.
Any of our girls.
That's first ever. Right. So this year's Coaches Award goes to Brooklyn Bearden.
And I wanted to let her know and let y'all know she's done a lot for our program. We appreciate her organizing, helping us organize senior night, and then taking care of our accounting part of our booster clubs the last few years. We're also losing 3 other officers this year. Ms. Rhodes is graduating with her daughter. Ms. Walden is graduating with her daughter, and we want to say thank you for your efforts for the last 4 years and all you've done. Tina was our treasurer for 2 years also. It's a lot of work, and I want to tell you I appreciate your help and all that you've done. I'm going to kind of change gears a little bit. Heather and Alan are leaving our program because they're moving on to another step. Heather's been their booster club president since I've really been here. Their boys are getting old enough. I knew this day was going to come that they were going to move over and focus on them. But we have the smoothest booster club that I have been associated with, and not just here, but in my other schools also. In the Lawrence Gwinnett County School at Collis Hill and at North Hall and Gainesville. I've never been a part of a booster club that runs as smooth as this has for these last 5 years that I've been a part of it. Heather's been the president for the last 2 after Alexis graduated. Alan's been a coach in this program. He was instrumental in moving this program from where it was to where it is today, of being a program that's in the state playoffs on a consistent basis, competing in Sweet 16 and going to Columbus. They have put in so many hours, all through volunteer, and they probably don't want me to talk about it, but I felt like Coach Armstrong, myself, that we needed to do something for them, and they're going to be totally surprised. So Heather, if you'd come up and accept this on behalf of our girls, past girls, and this coaching staff, for you and Alan, I hope it's going to be a perfect gift for you. And we appreciate everything you've done. Get down there and open up. If you want to share it with us at the end, you can. All right. Trying to make this quick. There's a lot of people that are a part of this. Coaching staff starts with it. I asked them to spend a lot of time consistently away from their family. Coach Armstrong mentioned we made a decision that we went to an SCA camp this summer. I had talked with Matt Queen the previous year, and I said, hey, I want to do this with my girls. I think it will be not to help us be a better softball team, but I think it will put our girls in a place where there are other girls who are in similar situations they are. In other words, being a teenage girl in this world, sometimes to speak out or to be around people and to be firm in your faith, you need that support of other people. It's easy to do it around mom and dad, but it creates a better bond when you're doing it with someone your age. So we made that trip to Statesboro. I really didn't care how we did down there, how we played. I wanted to go down there and be a part of the FCA and have them be a part of the FCA experience. And for those nights we met, we had a small group. We had an FCA huddle leader. We had a tremendous speaker, a young lady who attended Lasker High School who went and played college soccer at LSU. And she got down to some real bare bones about being a teenage girl and being in college and the things that teenage girls are faced with and the struggles. And I thought for those 2 nights when we listened to her speak, that our girls, I felt like it made a difference. Some and others more, but I felt like it would help to bond us and for us to sit down as a group each night before we went to bed and for them to openly be able to talk about whatever questions they had, concerns they had, or just things about their relationship with Jesus Christ. I know it's not politically correct. We weren't down there as an official school. It was in the summertime, but I think in the years that I've coached, it's one of the best experiences I've had. It may not result in more wins. It doesn't really matter. The whole thing is their relationship and how we prepare them, especially these days as they go out into the world in the next few months. I thought that SCA camp kind of set the tone. I felt like it helped us battle through some adversity, and we came back, held to that throughout part of the season. Had some of our players share their testimony and do some Bible studies, which I thought was a tremendous impact on the rest of our girls in the program. Ms. Collis, Coach Collis did, Coach Armstrong and Miss Coach Armstrong, they also shared. I thought it was a great time for growth for our girls. we came up with a slogan, and it was "Live at 314 and press on." And so from that, whatever we had happen in the season, we always wanted to turn to that, to press on, no matter whatever comes your way, to continue to press on. Our season, I felt, was, as we sit down and look back at what we did as a group, I thought that we really got the most out of our kids that we could. We were close in that Franklin County game. It was really disappointing in how that went. Felt like we had a shot there to move into the region championship. But when it's all said and done, I'm so proud of their effort. They fought so hard in that series, and then I thought they did well coming back against Dawson County. I try not to let banquets be really about individual games and stuff, but I felt like it was kind of about our season. It was disappointing. It was hard for us to walk off that field in that 4-3 loss, but we had to press on, and I hope that holds with them, and they can think about that time and relate it to another time in their life later when things may not seem like it's going the way they want it to, that they've got to continue to press on. I feel like I'm very fortunate to be a coach here at Fannin County. I always like to let Mr. Shofie know, and Dr. Ramsey, we have tremendous support from our admin and things that we do. There's a lot of decisions that we make that I'm sure that he questions all the time. He never lets me know, but I'm sure there's a lot of times where we do things, and he allows us to coach. And it's a joy to be able to go out and work with your kids and to make decisions, and to have the support of our administration and really our community. We have I call this a great opportunity, because we're like a private high school to me. In the places I've been, we have a great place to be and a great place for young people to grow up and to be educated. Saying that, we're going to say goodbye to 8 seniors tonight. Been a part of this program, going out in a large number. They've accomplished a lot and kind of helped us where we dropped off a year ago and got back to where we needed to be. And I know that was part of their main goal, and I'm so proud to be able to be a part of their 4 years of high school. I'm going to start off tonight with 2 awards, not given by me, but given by the region. Our Region 7 AAA coaches met back on the 21st of October. We can nominate as many players as we like from our team, and then once we nominate, we're not allowed to vote for our players. So it's the other 6 coaches in the region who select the first team and second team. We were honored to have, as a 7 AAA All-Region second team member, Kirsten Siegel. As a second team 7 AAA region member at first base, Haley Beard. First team representing our school was at third base, Ashley Rhodes. And at shortstop, first team was Allie Farley. So we had 12 members on the first team, and we had 12 members on the second team. So out of those 24 young ladies, we had 4 girls who were voted on by our region coaches to fill that spot. So congratulations. This time I'm going to ask Mr. Shofie to come up. If you would, I'm going to have him present this, and then we're going to do certificates and letter winners. We're going to do our Scholar Athlete Award first.
Thank you, Coach, and congratulations to the ladies. It's an honor to give out this award because, as you guys know, being a student athlete comes with a lot of sacrifice. And the courses a lot of our students are taking require a lot of time outside of school. And when we're in the region we're in and we're traveling all over the place, it's amazing to see the success our students have in the classrooms while they're involved with. The softball program consistently is one of our highest team grade point average across the entire school. And that's something that we should all be very proud of. The student this year that was winning the Scholar Athlete Award According to Alexis and Candace, is going to have a lot of friends in college. They attract themselves to smart students. So remember the T, and congratulations goes to Lacey Walden. She is so smart. She has a hard time getting her brother to school on time. And he always blames her for some reason. Congratulations, Lacey.
Lacey, I want you to know, I talked to him today when he was sitting out there and he kept blaming me. And you know what I told him? There's a bus that runs through there. He has no excuse. He could have got on that bus and came to school and got there before you. All right. I've got some letter awards to give out. First, I have 2 participation awards. I haven't had this happen in a few years. I have 2 young ladies that we brought back and brought up at the end of the JV season, have them travel with us as pitchers. And so at this time, I'm going to have Morgan Contardi come up and get her varsity participation award. And Amelia Sneed. Out there, so not in the order that I want them, so I'm going to figure it out. I've got first-year letter winners or award participants that I'm going to go through here and find. First one, you'll receive this, and you'll order your letter jacket from this, and then each year you letter will give you the pen that will go with it for each year that you do letter. Our first-year letter women, this goes to a freshman, Macy Galloway. Played every region game I know for us in center field, and several before that also. And she didn't make her first error until game 22 of the season in the center. I thought she had a phenomenal year for us in the outfield. Macy, congratulations. Another first-year award winner is Aubrey Pack. Congratulations, Aubrey. And in addition, I had to stand up here and still be called. Kyle Siebold. Look at that, Coach. I was up here talking to put these in order for me. Our second-year award winners are Miss Destiny Traylor. Congratulations. I'll talk more about her later. You get this pen now, come on. Miss Brooklyn Beard. Degree. Third year letter women. Weird to say it. Letter women. Miss Lacey Walden. Japan. Haley Beard. for all 4 years of high school, Kirsten Pup Siegel. Y'all running in these right here. Congratulations. Allie Barfield. All right. Make sure I didn't. I did it last year in baseball. I added up all the miles that we had traveled in baseball. And last year, if you added up what we did in baseball, we went from here to Phoenix, Arizona and back. Would have been how many miles we traveled. In softball, it wasn't as much because we don't play everybody 3 times. We play everybody twice. But we would have gone from here, Blue Ridge, and we could have gotten to Missouri, almost to St. Louis, the miles that we traveled on the bus this year. Mr. Carl Curtis is here tonight. He drove us for almost every one of our trips. I always think it's important that we, is that what you're doing?
They're going to come.
All right. Y'all want to come? I always think it's important that we always acknowledge and thank our bus driver. He spends a lot of time with us. I got threw you off the curb right there, right? I thought y'all were going to do this at the end. Who puts our children and me and our coaching staff on the bus and carries us and brings us back sometimes after midnight down the highways when it's raining sometimes. And he's done it for me the whole 5 years I've been here. So I just want to say thanks to Carl. And I think Carl, any of y'all want to say anything? Alan, you want to come up here and talk?
Somebody's talking. We like rock, paper, scissors.
Come on, Whitney.
We love you, Carl.
Carl was part of our trip to FCA, to our Fellowship of Christian Athletes Camp 2, and drove us down there and back. And I think Carl got as much out of it as all of us did. And we want to say thank you, Carl, even though they're not saying it. Lacey did say thank you, but that's a huge risk or a huge responsibility, not risk, to drive us across the state. So we want to thank you, Carl. Young. Thank you. Not only that, every time you get on the bus, Carl brought us something to eat. I've had so many granola bars, suckers. I guess he kept telling me I was a little overweight because he'd bring the girl sucker and he'd give me a granola bar. My wife does the same thing too. But anyway, I'm going to start with our pitching award. This young lady threw 107 innings for us this year. She had 9 wins on the mound for us. Whitney did a great job for us throughout the season, and she's our 2015 award recipient. Now, this young lady, she's in my class right now. And, you know, it really does, I think, coaches well when they get to teach their players. Because I think we get to see them in a different arena, and they get to see us in a different arena. And I don't know, she may tell you I'm no different in the classroom than I am on the softball field. I don't know. She had an outstanding year for us, as represented already by being first team selection to Region 7 AAA. She was second in almost every category, but about 4 or 5, and she was number one in those categories. She had a great year for us. I put her in leadoff spot the day we got down to the SCA camp, and I don't think I took her out the entire time. Ashley had a great season for us. Batted .350 in the leadoff spot, slugging percentage of .425, 22 runs scored. 28 hits. She's our most improved player for the 2015 season. And she's learning a little economics. Probably her favorite class. Our defensive award goes to Kirsten Siegel. She ended up having a 982 fielding percentage, but most impressive is she threw out 53% of base runners, which is really a great number in fast-pitch softball. She ended up mainly hitting the 2-hole for us most of the year, but every year coming into a season, I'm going to try to get her out from behind the plate and get her on the infield. I'm going to get her out from behind the plate. But I always keep going back to put her behind the plate. Kirsten Siegel is our defensive award winner for 2016. Well, I couldn't really, I'll say it. She's won our offensive award for the last 2 years. The last few weeks, I've been working to compile our career stats for not only this senior group, but to have our career stats or our leaders in 8 offensive categories and 4 pitching categories. Because my goal is out at City Park, I'd like to put up a board and show our top 3 in each of these categories so that it can be there on display all the time. And what I was finding out as I did these career categories for this group of seniors for their senior plaque is that this young lady keeps popping up in a lot of offensive categories. Started, of course, as a freshman on a team that ended up getting to the Sweet 16, having playing first, batting 7th. She moved all the way to her junior year where she was our leadoff hitter last year. Not really where we wanted her to be, but that's where she was. But she did the same thing again this year she did last year. She led her team in batting average in most all offensive categories. She hit 369 on the year. And it's weird. She's gotten 31 hits for each of the last 3 seasons. And I thought, that is so odd, 31 hits for each of the last 3 years. Allie Barfield's our offensive award winner. Did you run your sophomore or freshman year? Right. Congratulations. I forgot about that until I was going through this. Our Lady Rebel Award goes to a young lady who really encompasses about what our team's about. Maybe from a leadership standpoint, maybe from a character standpoint. This young lady led us from the day we were at the FCA camp, from a spiritual aspect, from a classroom aspect, as she's already won the Scholar Athlete Awards tonight, and from a kind of a social aspect. I say this all the time about her. She's got tremendous character. I wish I'd have had her in class. I didn't get the opportunity. But our Lady Rebel Award this year goes to Lacey. Since I've been here, I've always liked to do a senior portrait on senior night, and then I do a senior plaque that goes with or sits below or next to that is the exact same as the portrait that they can keep forever. I know the new thing is the big hanging banners, but I just don't know if I would have a 12-foot banner of my daughter hanging in my den down the road. But I tried. My thought was, what can we keep or what can we hang that would be a good representation of their time in our sport. So I've got 8 seniors tonight. We're going to miss each and every one of them. Kyra's done a great job for us last year at 3rd. This year, Kyra is, I would say, determination. She's determined in what she's going to do. She's going to try to face whatever obstacle she has, and she's going to fight through it, and that's going to carry her a long way in life. Kyra, our senior right fielder. I was telling this young lady the other day how happy I was that she stayed at Fannin County. She moved to us last year, moved here last year, about 2 weeks into our season. I remember still today, Dr. Ramsey brought her to my classroom. And then we played our season. I got to know Dustin a little bit. Anytime you have a teenager move, there's always, it's hard when you're the new kid. And so I felt like she persevered, got to know our girls during our season. And then I would see her at lunch all through the spring. And I'd say, "You're not gone yet. You're not gone." She'd say, "No, it's going to be spring break. No, it's going to be at the end of the year." And I was so excited when May came and we had tryouts. And I talked to Destiny, she was staying with us. I was so happy to get to be a part of her senior year. She's fit into our school very well. We're going to miss her. Destiny Trader, we're glad that you stayed and you were part of our program. Oh, here comes Lacey up here again. Lacey, I can say all kind of nice things about you. One that I always, come on up, is Lacey prays almost before every game for our team. She always takes that role, and I think it's awesome that you don't mind sharing your faith in public with other people. I think that's a great, great quality to have. We're going to miss you, Lacey. This girl will probably never care if she ever hears me yell, "Push again." Right? Right on. Whitney is probably not agree with everything I'm asking her to do. Probably thinks I scream around a little bit. She told me about a website we showed her about some drills, and she went on it. She said, "Hey, have you read how you should talk to pitchers on the mound?" Well, okay, I just won't come out the mound anymore. I'll just tell you from the dugout. It's all because we wanted her to get better. And I knew that there was more velocity in there. Whitney did a great job for us this season and the last 2 seasons. We're going to miss Whitney in the circle, and we wish her well at her next school at Andrews. Correct? You know, I was talking about Allie, who's in a lot of these categories offensively as I was going through career stats, and Allie's mixed in there with Candace and Carly Thompson and Alexis, and I noticed, I thought to myself, I wonder why this young lady's not in there. So I had to go back, and I remember she didn't really get to play her freshman year because she had a torn ACL. So she really didn't get to be a part of it her freshman year. Correct? That's why, because when I look back thinking, she should be there in some of these offensive categories, especially with the amount of runs that she scored for us and so forth. Ashley played third for us this year. She did a tremendous job as being represented as a 7th AAA first team member. Ashley, we're going to miss you, and we'll wish you luck at Truett McConnell. Our signing is December the 10th. So we're going to invite you all to that. See, I have a great relationship with this young lady because I had the opportunity to teach her world history. So she got to see me in the classroom, and I got to see her and how she responds in the classroom. I tell you, Haley has done, when I think of her, I think about how many big hits she had for us this year with 2 outs. And I went back and looked at it, and I think, I can't remember the 23 hits or the 24 hits she had. I think 14 of them came with 2 outs, which means she extended our inning or she got us 2-out RBIs. I like her battle at the plate. I like her ability to hit with 2 strikes and never to give up. She competed a lot. She knows I fussed at her a lot, but I think she did a great job for us these last 2 years at first and in the outfield and wherever I put her. Haley Barron. Got a lot of seniors, tell you what. Kirsten, not only do you get this plaque tonight also, but don't forget to take that catching gear that I gave you 4 years ago with you too. It can go with you. All right? Kirsten's caught, I guess, probably more games than anybody, I guess, in our program, and that will probably be on the board. Games caught. She's probably caught every game except for probably 12 the last the last 3 years, and I think she caught 16 of our 23 games for freshman year. That's a lot of squatting. That's a lot of being drilled by foul balls. It's a thankless position. It's not fun sometimes in the heat of the day in August after being in class for 4 classes and to go behind the plate. Kirsten had a great career with us. On here, she was part of it for 4 years, so hers as part of all the team wins we had. Kirsten and Allie will leave our program being the second most winning seniors that came through with, gotta look at it, with a total of team wins of 63 from the years 2012 to 2015. Candace and Collis senior group went out with 68 team wins over those 4 years. So they've had a remarkable career. Allie's here. She's been an award winner, I think, each of her 4 varsity years except for her junior year. Offensive award in 2015, offensive award in 2014, and our Rookie of the Year award 2012. I hope that she continues to play softball the next level. I've been pushing for her because I think she would do a great job at anywhere she chose to go. Allie Norfield. One last thing, Julie Seabolt is here tonight, right? We need to thank.
She had to go coach.
Well, we need to thank her for handling our pink out. It was the breast cancer awareness game she took care of for us. Tonight, what are our instructions, Mr. Armstrong?
Just swim them.
Did you want to talk, Ms. Armstrong? Hey, did you open your gift?
I did. I'm so excited. I said, we get to go and dress up and go to dinner by ourselves. Thank y'all so much.
Huh? Will that work?
No, y'all can't.
No, what?
Oh, we got the night at Brasstown, which I've never been to. So I'm so super excited.
And Alexis already agreed to babysit.
That worked really well.
That's why I texted you instead of Alexis. I thought it was Alexis I was texting. I was like, oh, never mind. I was just making sure Alexis was coming to our banquet. Never answered me back. But I was trying to make sure that was a good day.
If not, just must be really chilly.
All right.
I'm going to rep Heather real quick. I feel like Alexis. I don't like talking to people. Julie ditched me tonight. But I just want to say Heather is one of the most, I don't even have words for it. She is the most wonderful person I have ever met in my life. She is the most spiritual, unselfish human being I have ever met. And I'm so thankful for her. And I told her you're out here, you can't